That looks like a D&D map. Are we going on an adventure? I watched St. Osmunds, a found footage film found on Tubi for free viewing. It is about a small group that's working on a documentary about the mysterious closure of a mental hospital in 1963. The medical hospital was closed and the patients' records were sealed, but it wasn't legally closed, something along those lines, so nobody really knows where all the patients went to. They didn't go to other facilities, nobody has record of their release. So it's an ongoing mystery in this movie. And the main character is a man who is making the documentary, and he has not met his contract yet, and time's just about up. He has only about a 15-minute piece of the documentary because he's been getting the runaround from the state. So, desperate for some kind of footage to put into his documentary, he decides to go a more personal route and contacts someone who is in charge of the hospital. The guy lets them into the hospital where they decide to spend the night and try to get a lot of B-roll, maybe look into some things, see if they can find patient files. Obviously, once they get in there, spooky stuff starts to happen. And unfortunately, it's not very good spooky stuff. Sound design is pretty bad. A lot of whooshing. I don't know how to describe that. A lot of whooshing. They keep seeing the ghosts of patients, or I think they're supposed to be ghosts. I guess it's possible they're not, because they said all the patients went missing. They look like ghosts, though. And unfortunately, it's about this time the movie starts to lose me. It wasn't a great found footage film from the start. Like I said, bad sound design. It's not very gripping, but there is a story. It's an okay found footage film. But it starts to get, in my opinion, worse when they abandon the strictly found footage trappings. And for these dream sequences, when people get knocked out, especially the main character, there are these dream sequences that are done in traditional filmmaking. And it pulls you right out of the story, which was already tenuously interesting to begin with. It's honestly not clear sometimes if they're actually in this area or if it's a dream. At one point, I thought the guy was time traveling because they're seeing potentially, I think it's supposed to be ghosts from the past, but the set changes around them. So it's hard to, are they time traveling? It's hard to say, or are they just seeing the ghosts and for some reason everything looks like it's the 60s again? There ends up being an evil priest scientist, and there's a lot of talking. It's not a very interesting movie. It wouldn't hurt to have on in the background, like a lot of these, I suppose. Originally, I was going to give this one a 0.5 because I was so bored by it, but that doesn't really seem fair. It's competent enough, and I must follow my own rules. It is competent for a found footage movie. It shouldn't have gone the direction it went with the non-found footage parts. They could have really done more to make it actually scary. There wasn't much that was frightening. It was more like trying to unravel a mystery, which can be good if it's a good mystery. This one just didn't speak to me that way. I'm going to change my opinion and give this a 2 out of 5 stars. I think it's perfectly passable. It's not great. It has its flaws, but it certainly isn't going to hurt you to watch it.